This is part 2 of the seat base build. I have borrowed a clip from the previous seat base build because it doesn't make sense otherwise. So I just stole that and stuck it on the other one. Anyway, here it is. How to rebuild a seat base for your military 110. Enjoy it. So I'm going to use that one as the pattern. That one is completely broken, so I'm going to make that one first. So what I did is I copied the sizes of the base, and also in front of the base there is actually another section which is here, which is the rear bit, which on a seat base they've got a little angle at the back that flips up in the square frame. These are military Land Rovers, not civilian. Civilians have a little clip-in seat base, very different. This part of the seat base, if anyone takes these apart, that's made of real wood, not MDF, so that's actually alright. The MDF is ruined. See that? So I'll cut some new pieces to replace this one here. I'm going to keep that original, and then there's the two new bases for here. I'll probably start a bit of this evening, just stripping this down so to its component bases, and then I can show you that later on when that's progressing. But I'll take you through it step by step what I'm up to. I didn't show you cutting the wood because that's really boring. Everyone knows what this all looks like going through wood. Anyway, so there's that. I'll continue the seat bases. I'll show you what I'm doing with that as we go, and then I'm just replacing the lower rear section, which has got like an angled bracket in it. That's my replacement piece there. So I'm going to undo this, pull it apart, screw that onto this, and hopefully that'll be the rear section complete, which we can then add to the front section. Okay, so we've taken the rear section of this off. I put the new piece on there now. That's all lined up. So hopefully that's pretty good. That replaces that section there, which is just rotten, horrible. And then this piece of board here replaces what would be there. So I'm now going to screw that to that, like that. Obviously so it's flat, and then I'm going to take this over to the seat cradle, and hopefully it will fit, and then we can carry on and get the rest sorted. Okay, little update. Yesterday we were looking at the seat bases and looking at the screwing the boards together. So what have we achieved so far? Well, so the seat base, the board itself, I went and tested it on Lofty today on Military Land Rover, and it was a little bit too snug, so I've just taken another 5mm off the end of that. So the next job now is to put these into place. I'm probably going to glue these, although it might, it's not going to stay very long, is it? So you've got 3 sections in the middle. That's the other one there. They slightly overlap, and that's quite a hard foam. And this should tuck quite nicely together. You can see with the old cushion here actually how this is split and come out. So they are quite compacted in there to give the cushion its shape. So it's going to be a little bit squeezy when we do that together. So that's the 3 centre pieces there. And then the outer bolsters, you've got the soft part goes in the middle, so it's not too pinchy, and then the harder foam goes around the outside, which will give you its shape. And then we'll grab the other one. That goes here. There's a little cutout on the back. You can see that there, which goes over the lip here. So you have to excuse the filming because again I'm on my own always. Right, so that is the basic shape of the cushion, and then hopefully this is in good enough shape. There's a little bit of a tearing on there that we can actually pop this straight over the back of this and get that ready. Yeah, let's hope we can do that, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Once that's done, then we'll start the next one. Lovely. So that is the cushions glued to the bases, and then the vinyl cover put over the top. So it's looking pretty good shape actually. It is going to be it was quite tough to get all the cushions in there because the foam was obviously compacted slightly before it goes into the cover. So it took a little bit getting in there, but let's hope that's all right. And then now I'm going to turn it over and then pull the vinyl across and then staple it down. And then that will be that base done. And then we'll get on to the next one. Awesome. Okay, this is the base the other way up now. So basically, I can't do this with one hand. So I'm going to do this off camera and show you what's the finished result is. So basically, you know, to start at one corner, compact the foam down, pull the vinyl over, and then staple it, and just do that all the way around till you got it complete. And then that should be this finished. But I'll do that now and I'll show it to you after done, because it's not a one-hand job. Yeah. Okay, done. That is the first one done. Let me stand down here to show you. There we go. So, let me turn this around, it's easier. There we go. That is what would have been a thrown away seat base. Reused, remade, ready to go again. So I stapled the new things down. It took quite, like I say, it took quite a lot of pressure to actually get it to wrap around and then staple it in. But there we go. So next one to do, I'll probably do that tomorrow now though. And then I'll put them in Lofty and we'll be good to go. As you know, I'm probably going to put Lofty up for sale, which is our 110 recce vehicle. I will be selling it with all its kits as well, ready to go to shows as it is. But before I put it up for sale, I'm probably going to do a video on that as well and just take you through it and what it is, what sort of kit it's got on it and that sort of stuff. I think it'd be quite nice to do that before it goes. It would be lovely. Yeah. Alright, thank you for watching. Don't know what I'm doing next. It's every day at the moment is different things. But yeah, development on the show is as you probably can see, it's the minutest detail to the massive things. But it's all needs to be done. So this is why I'm sharing this journey with you about how the show is created. It's exhausting. Alright, thank you. I'll see you next time.